Hello and welcome all of my fellow kindred. My name is Oberok, and in today's video I will be teaching you how to become an absolute parkour legend in Bloodhunt. There are a few different techniques in this lesson to consider. Number 1, wall jumps and wall jumps paired with abilities. Number 2, wall slides and healing wall slides. Number 3, momentum based getaways and momentum based engagements. Number 4, double jumps, and my absolute favorite, number 5, melee momentum. Now, after explaining a few different techniques to capitalize on Bloodhunt's insane movement, you may be asking why this is even necessary, since Bloodhunt is just a third-person shooter that has you run around, point, and shoot. Wrong. Bloodhunt is so much more than just a third-person shooter at its roots, and in order to survive in Prague, you must know how to outmaneuver the Anarchs. Let's begin. In order to go from an Anarch to an Elder, you're going to need to know how to continue your flow of momentum on rooftops, in the street, between buildings, and in absolute war zones such as entity spawns. The first technique I will teach you is how to wall jump, and the best place to learn pretty much all of these techniques is in the tutorial. Now that you have a larger area to run around in, there is an actual Anarch that will chase you through Prague, and there is no time limit. When running through Prague, approach the side of a building or object and press your spacebar on your keyboard to attach to the building or object. Then quickly press your spacebar again to jump off of that building or object. Practice this as many times as you need until you feel comfortable to do this in between buildings. Start out slow and jump from one side to the other, back and forth, and make your way to the top of one of the buildings. Once you are familiar with basic wall jumps, they should look something like this, and get faster each time you do them. Plus, you should be able to clear larger distances as well. Now, pair that with a Brujah soaring leap for extra distance, and you've now mastered wall jumping and wall jumping with abilities. You can also do this with the Toreador teleport ability, and you can even use the same technique you just learned and apply it to wall jumping backwards. This is especially helpful when an enemy is in front of you and you are trying to get away while also taking high ground over the engagement. Next up is technique number 2. Wall slides. If you have the basic option set up of holding your spacebar to climb buildings, you can let go of your spacebar at any specific height you feel like, and you will notice your character start to slowly slide down the building. This is especially helpful when trying to lose an enemy or hear an enemy that is close by while also not hearing the sounds of your own character climbing. When pairing this with healing, you can perform some nasty healing tricks to disengage from a fight sneakily, then surprise your enemy while also having more HP than you previously did. This technique works with blood bags, blood syringes, muse, self-heals, and armor plates. You can also pair wall sliding with abilities and healing, such as this, in order to close the gap between you and your enemies while also healing. On to technique number 3, momentum-based getaways. Prague is a very dangerous place, and you will oftentimes need to disengage from a fight because 3 or more people are shooting at you, or maybe you have one very determined Anarch chasing you through the streets of Prague. In order to perform momentum-based getaways, consider the previous 2 techniques you just learned and apply them here. Jump between walls and use your abilities to take high ground of the engagement. Then perform wall slides down buildings when trying to juke your enemies. And then add a nice slide mid-sprint down the street. Pair that with a few more wall jumps into an ability in any direction you need at that time. Then press and hold your sliding key on your keyboard and then hit yourself with a blood syringe or muse self-heal if that is the class you are playing, or take an armor plate, blood bag, and the list goes on. Consider all of this information for momentum-based engagements as well. Your technique won't be perfect immediately, but if you continue to practice these techniques little by little, you will be soaring throughout Prague, jumping on Anarchs' foreheads and pulling some crazy clutch heals that can lead you to a victory. This is actually a perfect segue into our next technique. Number 4, double jumps. This technique can be confusing to catch on to at first, but with enough practice, you'll be performing double jumps in your torpor. While running, press your slide button, then your spacebar, and then your left mouse click with either your fists out or any melee weapon. If done correctly, you will see your character perform this animation here, and you will see a puff of gold smoke leave your character's feet. Congratulations, you just performed a double jump in Bloodhunt. Now, if you really want to get saucy and have absolute legendary tier movement, apply this final technique. Number 5, melee momentum. The Scourge Blades are an epic rarity melee weapon in Bloodhunt that have a unique ability that allows you to dash forward, and this ability can be used throughout all of these previous techniques we have discussed. Let me give you an example. Jump between buildings, make it to the top, double jump from one rooftop to the other, and before landing, hit a Brujah soaring leap if you are playing as that clan, then Scourgeblade dash into the direction you most desire. If you combine all of these techniques and practice them repeatedly, you should rise from an Anarch to an Elder. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you learned some good information on how to better maneuver around Prog from this video, please leave a like on it. And if you like Bloodhunt in general, please also hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you get notified each time I post a new video. If you guys would like to see any of my other Bloodhunt content, I'll leave 2 of my previous videos on the screen now. Take care, my fellow kindred. I'll see you in Prog.